The child in this painting, set against the dark of night, is depicted trying to put on clothes with one hand while reaching out with the other, as if attempting to feel or grasp something. What is this child, painted by the renowned 18th century English painter Sir Joshua Reynolds, trying to convey? The story begins during the time of the Judges, a turbulent period in Israel's history marked by a lack of centralized leadership and widespread disobedience to God. The priest Eli serves as the spiritual leader of Israel, overseeing the tabernacle at Shiloh. Eli has two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, who serve as priests but are corrupt and disrespectful toward God's laws. Samuel, a young boy at the time, had been dedicated to the Lord by his mother, Hannah. Once barren, Hannah had prayed fervently for a son and vowed to give him back to God if her prayer was answered. True to her promise, she brought Samuel to serve in the tabernacle under Eli's guidance after he was weaned. One night, as Samuel lay in the tabernacle near the ark of God, he heard a voice calling his name, "Samuel! Samuel!" Thinking it was Eli, the boy ran to the priest and said, "Here I am, you called me." Eli, however, had not called him and sent him back to bed. This sequence repeated 2 more times. Each time, Samuel heard the voice calling him and went to Eli, only to be told that the priest had not summoned him. By the 3rd occurrence, Eli realized it was the Lord calling the boy. He instructed Samuel, "Go and lie down, and if he calls you, say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.'" Samuel returned to his place, and the Lord called again, this time for the 4th time, "Samuel! Samuel!" Following Eli's advice, the boy responded, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." God then revealed a sobering message to Samuel. He told the boy that he was about to carry out judgment against Eli's household because of the sinful actions of Eli's sons and Eli's failure to restrain them. This message was likely a heavy burden for a young boy to bear, as it condemned the very man who had been raising and teaching him. The next morning, Samuel was afraid to share the vision with Eli, and understandably so. Delivering a message of judgment to one's mentor and spiritual leader would be daunting. However, Eli called for Samuel and insisted, saying, "Do not hide it from me. May God deal with you, be it ever so severely, if you hide from me anything he told you." Encouraged, Samuel told Eli everything, sparing no detail. Upon hearing the prophecy, Eli accepted the Lord's will, saying, "He is the Lord. Let him do what is good in his eyes." From that day forward, Samuel's role as a prophet of the Lord began. The Bible notes that the Lord was with Samuel as he grew and let none of his words fall to the ground, meaning that everything Samuel prophesied came to pass. His reputation spread throughout Israel, and he became recognized as a prophet who spoke God's truth. The chapter concludes by emphasizing the renewed relationship between God and his people through Samuel. The Lord continued to appear at Shiloh, and there he revealed himself to Samuel through his word. Samuel, who marked the beginning of a new era in Israel's history, is the child depicted by Sir Joshua Reynolds. Before exploring the significance of this painting, let us first get to know Sir Joshua Reynolds, one of the most important painters in British history. Joshua Reynolds was a prominent 18th century British painter and one of the leading figures in the establishment of the Royal Academy of Arts, where he served as its first president. Renowned for his portraits and grand historical compositions, Reynolds was a key figure in promoting the grand style of painting, which sought to elevate the status of portraiture and historical subjects through classical allusions and idealized representation. Completed in 1776, The Calling of Samuel is one of Reynolds' representative works, created during his exploration of historical and religious themes, complementing his renowned portrait paintings. The painting presents Samuel bathed in soft, divine light that symbolizes God's presence. This light contrasts with the surrounding darkness, highlighting the spiritual focus of the scene. Samuel's expression reflects a mix of wonder, humility, and attentiveness, emphasizing his role as a chosen vessel for divine communication. Reynolds employs chiaroscuro, a technique emphasizing stark contrasts between light and shadow, to create a dramatic yet intimate setting. The glow surrounding Samuel conveys his innocence and purity. Reynolds focuses on the inner experience of Samuel rather than elaborate storytelling. The simplicity of the scene allows viewers to connect deeply with the boy's awe and the transformative power of a divine encounter. The painting became a point of reference for art education, illustrating Reynolds' theories on how art could uplift the viewer's mind and spirit. His ability to translate scriptural text into a compelling visual narrative demonstrated the power of art to convey timeless messages. After reflecting on this story and the painting, I began to wonder, why did God choose to convey his will to a child rather than to Eli, the priest, during a time when Israel's spirituality was waning? Perhaps it hints that the purity and innocence of a child hold the key to transforming the world. But what about adults, weathered by the trials of life? What then becomes the turning point for their change?